If you've been on this channel for a while, then you know traveling and cultures and just the world are a big impact on what makes me happy, my life, and all that stuff. If you are subscribed to the second channel, then you know I just got to that and I'm about to get the second dose of the. Ooh, can I say that? I'm gonna bleep it out just in case, like, monetization and YouTube and stuff. Anyways, this video is called Top 10 Places to Visit in 2021. Now, I know there's going to be constrictions and everything on where I could go possibly this summer. We will get more into that this weekend on the second channel where I check out countries that I'm possibly able to travel to. But on this one, it's just going to open up the doors and bring content to the channel that will kind of like unite my day-to-day life with you guys, which I always love to do. So let's get right into top 10 places to visit in 2021 if we can travel. Subscribe for me here, check out my other culture content in the culture playlist, and DM me with a request over on Instagram. Here we go. This is again by Ryan Shirley. We love him.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and if you're like me, you're probably stuck at home just daydreaming of when you can get back out into the world.
This wretched country I'm stuck in.
So here are my top 10 places to visit in 2021.
Yeah.
Since you probably weren't able to travel much in 2020, hopefully this is the year you can safely see.
That's Dubai. It's gotta be. I can see the little staircase and the tall building. They have a big old picture frame in the middle of the baseball field. Whoa.
See a little bit more of our beautiful world. Now, some of the places in this list are currently closed or very restrictive to travel, but hopefully as the year progresses, more destinations will safely open up for tourism. Let's start this video off at the beautiful islands of French Polynesia. Located in the South Pacific, French Polynesia is made up of over 100 islands. Now, one of the most stunning islands is Bora Bora. I mean, look at this place. It doesn't even look real.
I'm not much of an island girl though, or beachy. I like the cities, I like the architecture, I like the history. Places that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. I want to see castles and stone walkways. I feel like I'm just a European kind of girl. But, you know, that's very beautiful. I would maybe vacation there for a weekend. But let's keep saying the list.
I mean, just how the islets and the coral reef protect the island and the crystal clear lagoon just blows my mind. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. Now, if you got some money to blow, you can stay at one of the ocean bungalows that are built right above the ocean water. Now, at the center of the island is a dormant volcano called Mount Otemanu, and it stands an impressive 727 meters tall. Now, to get to Bora Bora or any other destination in French Polynesia, you're required to take a COVID test 72 hours prior. So if you can afford it, French Polynesia might be the place to go adventure and relax in 2021.
Very beautiful.
After, we're going to head over to the country of New Zealand. Now, if you're like me, New Zealand has been on your travel bucket list for as long as you can remember. It's a land full of mountains like Switzerland, fjords like Norway, and landscapes straight out of Lord of the Rings. Now, New Zealand is made up of over 700 islands, but the two...
Sorry to interrupt him real quick. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, now New Zealand. All 4 places that are sort of similar and just now come into my like bucket list. They're just interesting places, and their weather and architecture, not architecture, landscaping are so different than anywhere else in the world.
It's straight out of Lord of the Rings. Now, New Zealand is made up of over 700 islands, but the 2 major ones are the North and the South Islands. If you're down for some adventure and crazy landscapes, I'd say the South Island is where it's at. It's home to the Southern Alps, where Mount Cook is located. It's the tallest mountain in New Zealand, and it stands at over 12,218 feet high. Another incredible spot is the Milford Sound, described as the 8th wonder of the world. The Milford Sound is a fjord that was carved out by glaciers during the Ice Age. It's one of the wettest places in the world, and the whole area is full of rainforests and magical waterfalls. Right now, it's pretty much impossible to visit New Zealand unless you're a resident, but hopefully travel can open up more to the country late in the year so we can explore this beautiful country.
Y'all are, I'm assuming a lot of British people are watching this video. Y'all are coming out of lockdown June, July, right? So hopefully as more of the, you know, the needle in the arm, I can't say the word because monetization, but as more people get the thing, hopefully it'll become like the world will start opening up again. I hope so anyway, because I don't know.
Now, after New Zealand, we're going to head up to Indonesia
Bali.
to visit Bali. Bali has
But
been
they got
one of the most
anacondas.
popular travel destinations the last few years. With its relatively cheap prices and incredible tropical landscapes, it's easy to see why. The travel situation just got a little tricky out there, but hopefully it opens up later in 2021. One of the most popular places to visit in Bali is Nusa Penida. It's an island right off the coast of Bali. It's famous for having white cliffs coupled with perfect beaches. They remind me a lot of Zakynthos, Greece. Now, the rest of Bali is just full of rice terraces, prime surf spots, and jungle waterfalls. I mean, I just want to go there so freaking bad. Alright, after Bali, we're going to head over to UAE to visit Dubai.
You gotta be ballin' though to visit Dubai. You gotta be rich to even enjoy that area. People drive Rolls Royces as if they're Toyota Camrys over there. Like, Dubai, I'm not there yet financially to enjoy myself, I feel like. If you're from Dubai or if you've ever been, you can fill me in, but my perception of Dubai is that's where rich people go. I'm talking billionaires, not just hundreds of thousands in your bank, billionaires. I ain't coming to Dubai.
Now, I have to say that Dubai is one of the coolest places I've ever been. With COVID, Dubai has relaxed its entry requirements for most countries. You just need a negative COVID-19 test issued within 96 hours of arrival. Now, Dubai is basically what happens when a city has a blank slate and limitless budget to make some of the craziest buildings and structures in the world.
Limitless budget, they indeed do. And so he's saying that you need a negative test. What about the shot, you know? Is anyone considering that? I know it just started rolling out, but hopefully, like, I know in Texas there was a bill to, like, make a new passport to prove that you've had the shots. So we'll see how that goes. I guess just time will tell, but I've gotten the shot now, so will I still need to bring a negative test? I don't know. And another question I had, what's that place with the black sand? I want to go there. He was talking about beaches, and like the biggest beach that I can think of that I want to travel to is the one with the black sand everywhere, because that's just, it's beautiful. The water is very crisp looking and cold. I don't know.
Now, it's home to the Burj Khalifa, which is the world's tallest building at 2,722 feet high. When I was there, I went to the top 124th floor. It's the highest you can go as a tourist. I was able to get an awesome time-lapse of Dubai's craziest highway roads. After I headed down to the bottom to watch the spectacular Dubai fountain shows, which happen every day. I mean, just such a cool experience being there.
Yeah.
If you want to experience the beach and Persian Gulf, I recommend Jumeirah Public Beach. It has an awesome view of the Burj Al Arab, which is considered to be one of the only 7-star hotels in the world. Another cool activity I did was I went on a desert safari. We went on the middle of nowhere and got in some cars and rode on the dunes to our spot. Not gonna lie, it's a little sketch, but I had a good time watching the sunset and experiencing the crazy deserts of the UAE.
Okay, so apparently you don't have to be a billionaire. You know, you can go to I guess anywhere you go, you can find something to do with that won't cost you money. He just said the beaches, just walking around looking at the views, watching, maybe going up that tall building. I'm sure he probably had to pay for that. As for the sand dunes and everything, I've always wanted to do that. Like, I love four-wheeling. I'm from Texas. I grew up on four-wheeling. But I'm afraid that I'll get lost or buried in the sand and no one will find me. But it does seem like a lot of fun, Dubai.
After, we're going to head over to Brazil to visit Rio de Janeiro. Now, Brazil opened its borders to all travelers at this time, but requires a COVID-19 test 72 hours before boarding your plane. I was lucky enough to visit Rio de Janeiro last February, and I have to say it's one of the most wild and vibrant cities I've ever visited. It's home to beautiful beaches, massive granite mountains, and an energetic culture.
Ooh.
One of the most famous places in Rio is the iconic Christ the Redeemer. It's this massive statue that is over 125 feet tall.
Dang.
When I was there, I was able to get some unique 360 shots. There are also some amazing beaches. One of Rio's most famous is Inpanima Beach. I mean, before visiting Rio, this is what I imagine Brazil to be like. Another one of my favorite places in Rio is this lookout called Mirante Dona Marta. It's an absolutely beautiful lookout that has one of the best views of the city. I went there for sunrise and got one of the most incredible views over the famous Sugarloaf Mountain. Now, after Brazil, we're going to head over to the other side of South America.
Look at the water. It's like green.
To visit Peru. Now, when it comes to Peru's landscapes, they're some of the most diverse in the world. I mean, it ranges from some of the world's biggest sand dunes to the rainforests of the Amazon. Now, one region I particularly want to explore is the Peruvian Andes. To get to the Andes, the city of Cusco is a great starting point. It's one of the world's highest cities with an elevation of 11,200 feet.
Okay. honestly, South America hasn't been on my. I've been to Mexico City and I spent like 2 weeks there, and it mainly just looked like that city that he just showed with all the houses on the like I don't know if they were mountains, but they were some kind of rock, and it was just like a sea of just houses just built all the way up. Now maybe I need to check out more South American countries and possibly travel. My mind has just always been on Europe, Europe, Europe. So maybe we should go to Africa, check out other continents, Asia, South America.
Wait, it's one of the world's highest cities with an elevation of 11,200 feet and was the capital of the Incan Empire from the 13th century until the Spanish conquest during the 1500s. There's a ton of Incan archaeological sites nearby, the most famous being the Incan citadel of Machu Picchu. It's one of the greatest archaeological feats in the world, and it's full of mystery. It's believed to be built around the year 1450, but...
Holy crap! Wait, the Mayans, the Incas, the Aztecs, all them, all the folks. Holy crap.
It's in the world, and it's full of mystery. It's believed to be built around the year 1450, but it was abandoned in 1572, where it remained hidden until it was rediscovered in the 19th century. Now, another stunning place in the Andes is the Vinicuna Rainbow Mountain. It's located at a wild 17,100 feet high elevation, and it's world famous for its uniquely covered mountain. I mean, Peru is just such a beautiful country. I hope you can check out in 2021.
How would the weather conditions be up there? Because it looked kind of cold, and there was snow on there. Is it, you know how people, like some people die when they try to climb Mount Everest? If you go to one of these mountains, is it a risk? If you've been, let me know.
After, we're going to head to the USA.
Oregon. Maybe it's because I'm an American, but I don't see America as like a travel destination. What the? You want to come to Oregon? No offense to anyone from Oregon, but buddy. At least go to New York or Los Angeles, you know? Oregon. That's like Seattle.
Oregon.
Right?
Now, if you're like me and just stuck in the U.S. and just want to go somewhere within
American.
the country, Oregon is one of the best places you could go. Me and my wife did a road trip through the state about a month ago, and it was extremely enjoyable. Oregon is home to some of the best coastline in the USA. I highly recommend just driving down the 101 Coastal Highway. One of my favorite stops was this place called Minor Beach. It had these massive rocks, and we had the beach all to ourselves.
There's no way this is There's absolutely no way this is America. There's no way. This is Oregon. Myrtle Beach. No. What do you say?
I highly recommend just driving down the 101 Coastal Highway. One of my favorite stops was this place called
Meyer Beach. That looks foreign. America, let me shut my mouth. Wow. Oregon, I guess I gotta go now.
Meyer Beach. It had these massive rocks, and we had the beach all to ourselves. Another scenic spot is the Samuel H. Boardman Scenic Corridor. It's one of the most beautiful spots on the Oregon coast, in my opinion. Now, if you get a chance, definitely recommend road tripping Oregon this year. After, we're going to head over to the country of Turkey. Turkey is one of the few countries that never really shut down during COVID. Today, most of its travel restrictions are lifted, with the exception of a few countries. Now, one of the most popular...
Excuse me. Can you go swimming in there? It looks like, I don't know, like it'd be warm. And the rocks are just white and beautiful. Turkey, shout out to y'all.
Most of its travel restrictions are lifted, with the exception...
Just look at that. Look how clear the water is. It reminds me of that place in Iceland. I don't know what it's called, the Blue Lagoon or something.
Of a few countries. Now, one of the most popular destinations in Turkey is the city of Istanbul. Istanbul is one of the most fascinating places. It's a transcontinental city, which means that Istanbul is part of both Europe and Asia. The Bosphorus Strait, which is considered to be the boundary between Europe and Asia, runs right through the capital. Istanbul is the most populated city of all of Europe, with a population of over 15 million. The history of Istanbul is endless. It was settled as far back as 7th century BC, and it became the capital of the Roman Empire in the year 330 AD. One of my favorite features of the city is the Galata Tower. It's a uniquely shaped medieval building that dominates the skyline. You can head to the other side of Turkey to visit Cappadocia. It's famous for its morning skylines filled with hot air balloons.
Oh, that's nice.
Cappadocia is home to unique rock structures that scatter the land, and it's just such a wild place.
How do they carve that?
We'll head over to Germany to visit Bavaria. Located in the southern part of the country, right next to the Austrian border, Bavaria is home to jaw-dropping scenery. I'm just praying travel opens up to Europe this summer, because it's one of the first places I want to go. The capital of Bavaria is Munich, and it's such a charming historic...
Oh my god. I'm telling y'all, there's just something about Europe. Look at that. The buildings have like a character of their own. The architecture there is just out of this world. It's delicious.
City. One of the most beautiful towns I want to explore is called Berchtesgaden. It's an idyllic German town located at the base of the Bavarian Alps. If you're into World War II history, you're going to love this place. I just finished watching Banner Brothers, and the last episode they took over Berchtesgaden. It's also where Hitler's Eagle's Nest retreat is located. Now Berchtesgaden...
Eagle's Nest retreat for Hitler? I'd assume they're not casting him in a positive light.
It's also home to stunning alpine lakes. One of my favorites is Oversee. It's famous for having this mountain cabin right on the lake. Now, one of the most well-known places in Bavaria is the Schwanstein Castle. I have to say that's one of the most beautiful castles in all of Europe. Schwanstein is placed perfectly in the mountains with a phenomenal 360 view of the Bavarian Alps and the town below.
How'd they build that?
The castle was completed in 1886, and it's the inspiration behind Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle. I mean, I just can't think of a more magical place to visit in 2021. Now, after Bavaria...
Before we move on to the next island, the fact in the 1800s, 1400s, they were building all these like colossal, just detailed architecture pieces. It's bewildering. Like, how did the thought process, they didn't even have like the tools that we have in modern day, but they were still able to build things that are so beautiful. Even back in Roman days, building the arches and all that stuff. I know it was mainly through like slave labor, but the fact that you were able to think of something so articulate and then produce it without proper tools, commendable.
We're going to head over to the Faroe Islands, located right between Norway and Iceland in the Atlantic Ocean. The archipelago is made up of 18 volcanic islands. Now, special thanks to my friend Ellis Van Jason for providing me this footage. He's one of the best FPV pilots in the world. I'll link his Faroe Islands video in the description. It's gonna blow your mind. Now, I have to say,
I'd be scared I'd drop it.
Some of the world's most dramatic landscapes, from the sheer sea cliffs to waterfalls straight into the ocean. The Faroes have so much to offer. One of the most scenic places in the Faroe Islands is the Mulafusur waterfall that's located on Bavaria Island, and the water falls over 100 feet down to the ocean below.
I'm afraid even to walk on bridges over highways. I don't know, my heart would burst out of my chest standing on the edge of a cliff, just looking out at everything. The world, the ocean, the sea, the black waters, other cliffs. It's so bizarre because human beings, like, we feel like we're the most important thing on this earth, but we're really just this little speck of just creation. It's insane.
One of my personal favorite places is the island of Kalsoy. It has an incredible lighthouse that overlooks some of the biggest sea cliffs. Alright, well, that is it for my 2021.
Alright. So, a lot of the places did spark my interest. Definitely need to check out more of South America. But again, I'm still hung up on Europe. I want to come back to Europe. God, I know some of y'all don't believe in God, but God, please let Europe open up. At least to the people who got the shot. At least to me. Thanks. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like it. Give me some suggestions for down below. Again, this Saturday on the second channel, we'll be going through an actual list, an official list of countries that I could possibly travel to this summer. It is almost May. I plan to leave America in June, end of June, and throughout July. And then I'll be starting nursing school, which is also why I'm so adamant on traveling this summer, because after this summer, I won't have another chance because I'm going to be in nursing school for a year straight, focusing on that. So this is like my last chance to go out, see the world. I haven't traveled in over a year and a half. I'm like an addict. I'm what do you call it when they're coming off of the stuff? That's what I'm going through. Repression or depression, suppression. A lot of Eshens. I don't know. Subscribe if you're new here, like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.